What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Knicks Cave. I'm Jan, the Knicks fan, your host, and let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment. You want to know when the next video going to drop? Hit the notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into the video. Y'all see the rundown. Today's topic, we're going to start off with that Knicks 76er game. I know it was yesterday, but there's some things I want to talk about. And no, if you are regular viewer, no, I'm not about to get down on Tom Thibodeau. He could have made some adjustments. I am going to talk about that. A game the Knicks led all the way through until the last seconds, and I'm going to say that to the last seconds of the game. The Knicks actually got lucky. Precious Achiuwa got a goaltending call. Had he not got that goaltending call, the game would have been over. I think the score would have been 111-109. What's his name? Stewart. If I'm correct, I think it's Stewart. I forget his name, but he do remind me of Ben Wallace. So if y'all remember just put him in the comments. You know I'll always need some assistance. Yeah, but the Knicks got lucky. I'm just gonna put it right there because had Chua not got the goaltending call, just missed the block, or had got the block and the ball, careened off the backboard into the hands of, I think it was Stewart. I keep forgetting his name. Well, either way, he would have had a put back dunk. The game would have been over. It was only seconds left. All right, so let's just talk about the game. What I mean, and another thing I want to say, I know y'all see the countdown. We're not going to go by the yellow line. We're going to make this as short as possible. But we're going to talk about the Timberwolves. We're going to talk about the team minutes. Team minutes going to be very brief. But I do want to talk about that as well. And no, I'm not getting down on Tom Thibodeau. Like I said, this was a good game, an OT win. I thought he should have done some things different. And I always talk about the matchups. And this is what I'm going to talk about right now. Let's just talk about how the starting unit, Embiid was out. We see Yabusele, I can't pronounce that name. I know he played a pretty good game in the Olympics. That's what got him in an NBA. Excuse me. Look at that lineup. All right, look at that lineup. Tyrese Maxey, Eric Gordon, Paul George, Kelly Oubre, a guy I really didn't want the Knicks to go after when they had the opportunity to. And the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? Towns was out. Jericho Sims, where he got his fifth start of the season. I'm going to say fourth start of the season. And, all right, I know the Knicks are shopping him, so they want to, give him some exposure. So I wasn't upset about the start for Jericho Sims, but like I said in my last video, I always want to see some adjustments. And with 76ers having nobody on the court taller than 6'8", I really thought Hooker Porty should have been in the game at some point to take advantage of that height. Like I said, I think he have a higher IQ, basketball IQ than Jericho Sims. So I really thought that Tibbs should have had him out on the floor. I think that would have went in the Knicks' favor. Because if you look at, for once, the Knicks were kind of playing an even battlefield when it come up to the matchups and the size, really. There's some size difference, but not that much. Kelly Oubre matched up well with Anunoby or even with Paul George whenever they was playing defense. Then you got Mikal Bridges. He was even one of them. Mikal's, a 6'7". I think Paul George 6'8", 6'9", somewhere. Kelly Oubre is around 6'7". Anunoby is 6'8". Then you got Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is 6'6", somewhere 6'5". Maxey somewhere 6'5", 6'4", somewhere. But, the matchup was just basically, Brunson ain't always had 6-7 point guards and guys guarding him all night. And he got the opportunity to flourish, you know what I'm saying? Almost dropped the 40 burger. And yeah, but I just thought Hooker Porty should have been in that game for matchup reasons. He could have really, deterred some shots. I probably got a few block shots, some alley-oops. I'm pretty sure we'd have got more boards than what we got. This is my problem with Tibbs not going with the matchup and always playing your favorites. And at the same time, Tibbs was out, Take advantage. Embiid was out. Take advantage of the height. Take advantage of the height. And I thought that, the Knicks should have did that. This game, the Knicks came out victorious. The Knicks are now 2-2 without Towns in the game. Towns missing 4 games so far of the season. repeat myself on the last video. I said I was rather more comfortable with Towns playing and and Brunson not. Then I did correct myself and said that this is both fair team, and I'm realizing no matter who out, these two guys, either one can get it done. That's what makes this team so special. We complain about the defense, but the defense have picked up. They have picked up, you know what I'm saying? And I know some of y'all may see not noticeable, but it have picked up. All right, we're going to talk about the Timberwolves real quick with the New York Knicks. Like I said, I'm going to try to keep up with the thing, but I'm really not keeping up with the thing, with the countdown. We got the Wolves coming in here tomorrow night. Some would say the Timberwolves are in disarray, but they won 21 games. They're 21-19. They're 8th in the Western Conference. And they just haven't found their chemistry yet, if you ask me. Inferno Dante is replaced William Conley in the starting lineup, and if you look at their ratings with Conley, they was better team with Conley in the lineup. But I know the Wolves is going to come and try to put a better matchup. I think they might even have Nas Reed, and I don't know. They're going to still bring Nas Reed up the bench. A lot of people wondering why the Timberwolves are not starting Nas Reed after getting rid of Karl Anthony Towns, and that's to satisfy Julius Randle. Because they bring Nas Reed. Nas Reed's a good player, but he's not as good as Gobert on defense, so that will be a weakness. Minnesota Timberwolves, in my opinion, is not that real defensive, you know what I'm saying, minded. Their players, I mean, they're not that bad, but we'll get into their stats in a little bit. But honestly, the players that they got, I don't believe, Randall, he did a lot for us, but let's be real. He's not that defensive stopper. He had them lapses. Sometimes he don't even look interested in defense. And if you ask me, I think that's what's wrong right now. And that's what's wrong with the Timberwolves right now is Julius Randle. I'm just going to be right there. Dante, he had a slow start, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people was wondering what's going on over there today. Dante wasn't happy. A lot of drama in Minnesota, you know what I'm saying? Last night game, they lost to the Golden State Warriors. And Anthony Edwards called his team out. He said they playing lackluster basketball, like they don't want to play. They don't have no love for the game. We just started talking about the starters. He bigged up the second unit, and that's what we're going to worry about, because that's one of the Knicks, in my opinion, biggest weaknesses so far this season is the second unit of opposing teams coming out and having a way with the New York Knicks. I know they're going to be looking for revenge after we beaten them the last game. What was that? I have to check some notes. 133 to 107, 26 points. So I know they're going to come in this game, look for some type of revenge. Anthony Edwards is going to be looking for something out of his starting five, his compadres, after coming out last night, expressing his disappointment, their play. But, like I said, I'm just going to be real, and I know I was a strong defender of Julius Randle, because my biggest concern back then when I was talking about who the Knicks was going to trade Julius Randle for, I didn't see that trade coming. I'm gonna be real. Right? I'm just gonna be real. I did not see that Towns trade coming. Nobody seen it coming. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to see my team win. So this is why I was like, nah, the Knicks can't trade Randle, because I didn't know what they was going to get in return. Were they going to get fair value? And if anybody was to ask you today who won the trade, because when the trade first happened, a lot of people was kind of leaning towards Minnesota getting over on the Knicks because they got Julius Randle and Dante in that deal. And if you was to ask anybody today, right now, who won the trade between the New York Knicks and the Minnesota Timberwolves, and they undoubtedly would say the New York Knicks did. Is no comparison, in my opinion. The way the team right now, they're talking about Karl Anthony Towns in the MVP conversation. And Jalen Brunson as well, in my opinion, should be mentioned too. But you don't hear that with Julius Randle over there in Minnesota. So that alone tell you who got the better of the trade. Like you seen what the Timberwolves do away there 10, 11, and 10. The Knicks are 14 and 8 at home. As underdogs, the Knicks are 2 and 3. So I don't think the Knicks are underdogs in this game. It's more so Minnesota. So we're gonna see what the Knicks do. Let's check out some more stats before I get into them team minutes. Like I said, I'm not really, going on the countdown, but if I can keep up, I'm going to keep up. And when it comes to points, the Knicks are 6th, they're 22nd. Field goal, we 3rd. 3-point percentage, we 5th. The Knicks is rolling. That's what I'm saying. I know I understand why some of y'all get upset with me when I come out and I start digging on Tibbs. Because when you look at the Knicks statistically, we're doing very well. Like I don't know if I said it earlier, but I'm gonna say it again. We're actually 3 games ahead of what we were last season. And I'm asking y'all to hit me in the comments, give me y'all predictions. If we won 50 games last season, how many games do you think we're going to win this year? We're 3 games ahead of where we was at last year. So I know I'll be ragging on Tibbs, and it's nothing really to do when it comes statistically. The Knicks are right there. And that's why I always said that this is a championship team, a contender. I don't think they are a pretender. I think we have the roster, the rotation, even the bench. I think the bench can do what the bench can do their thing, in my opinion. I just think they're not getting the playing time or the minutes, which would hurt the starters, would hurt the team, because if they're not prepared and the playoff comes, it's history for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in the minutes now, the team players, so it's a little both stats and team minutes. All right, so if you look again, scoring 6, 22nd, first quarters. Now the scoring, it seems like I repeat myself, but this is how they do in each quarter. The Knicks are 15 when it comes to scoring in the first quarter. The second quarter and the Knicks is where, and the third quarter is where the Knicks really excel at. Last year, we had trouble in the third quarter. This year, the Knicks are really doing their thing in the third quarter. But it's the second quarter where the Knicks really started to jump out on teams. And they got to continue that and just keep it going. Somehow, the momentum they have in that second quarter, they got to carry that over to the fourth quarter. And this is when I talk about the minutes. Like I said, this is when I'm talking about the fatigue and the guys, the starters, started to wear down the fourth quarters. They started to keep shooting threes, not driving to the hole. But in the last couple of games, since the Knicks came off that losing streak, because we've been going back and forth since we came off that 3-game losing streak, Jalen Brunson had made it his business to get the Knicks going. And this is why I say he should be in mention of the MVP, because he's really holding this team down. You know what I'm saying? Karl-Anthony Towns doing this thing, but Brunson, since that losing streak, I don't really care. Even the games we lost, he had bad games, but he really came to play. You know what I'm saying? You cannot fault the man. All right, let's carry on. Minnesota, we're talking about the shooting. We 3rd in field goal. We 3rd in the free throw line. We 5th from downtown. We 25th in attempts. We 15 with threes made. The Knicks, like I said, y'all hear me talk about what they're not doing, and I know I need to be talking about what they are doing. And the Knicks are having a sneaky, quiet, good season, statistically, defensively, offensively, whatever way you want to look at it. My only problem, and I'm going to say it again, I don't want to sound like a broken record, it's the player management. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people laugh at what I say, but I just think Tibbs got to manage these players' minutes much better. Minnesota, 3-game losing streak? No, in the last 5 games, they come out 3-5? Yeah. Well, in the last 10 games, they 5-5, and Knicks are 5-5 in the last 10 games. But some would say Minnesota competition was a little bit tougher than the Knicks. The schedule was just a little bit tougher. Like I said, they played Golden State. I know Golden State ain't the team that they once was, but they not, they can beat other teams now. They can beat you if you sleep on them. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to play the Knicks next 5 games, including the Minnesota Timberwolves. We got Hawks, Brooklyn, and we got Sacramento, and we got Grizzlies. And I think the Knicks can go 4-1 with them teams, starting it off with Minnesota and busting them down. The last time we played them, Karl Anthony Towns had a terrific game. What Towns had 32 points. He actually shot 83% from the field. He shot 100% from downtown, 5 for 5 from downtown. Brunson, he struggled that game. He had 14 points. He shot 35% from the field. Went 5 from 14 from the field. 40% from downtown, which was better. Like I said, he struggled. He only struggled, but he really didn't struggle because he only took 14 attempts. So that's not normal for Brunson. You know what I'm saying? He usually taking, let's be real, 20-something shots and then some. So that was a good night for Brunson. If you look at it in that perspective, 40% from downtown, 2 for 5. Like I said, Towns had 32%. Mikal Bridges, I think that was one of his breakout games after everybody was getting on his case. He had 29 points. He shot 66% from the field. He went 12 from 18 from shots. 50% from downtown, 4 for 8. He was, he had an efficient night as well. And we're going to need that. Especially if Towns not playing, we're going to need that. And as I talk about matchups, Hooker Porter going to have to play. I mean, Achua do his thing, but we're going to be dealing with 2 7-footers tomorrow night. Naz Reid and Rudy Gobert. Hooker Porter got to be on the floor at some point. He got to. If Towns don't play, you know what I'm saying, we know about the sprain thumb. If Towns don't play, he's a game time decision. Hooker Porter has to be on the floor. All right? Now let's move along. All right, I ain't even getting to the rebounds. We look at what the Minnesota scoring per game overall. The Knicks were 117. They 109, but in the last 5 games, Minnesota has been scoring 111 points. The Knicks are 116, so they're a little bit off. 49% from the field to their 45. 3-point, they both at 37%. You can say Minnesota's at 38 because it's 37, 90.98. Free throws, 80% to their 78. Total rebounds, we snatching 43 to the 43. Let's just jump to Mitchell Robinson. This is going to be an interesting game. I know Minnesota's definitely going to be looking for some revenge, and I'm hoping the Knicks start a little winning streak again. You know what I'm saying? Get back to winning and start tomorrow night. Like I said, the next 5 games, the Hawks, Sacramento, the Grizzlies, and Brooklyn Nets, including the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's 5. Our next 5 games. I think the Knicks can come out 4-1. The only team that really worried me is the Grizzlies. I know Sacramento got some dangerous players on there, but in my mind, they're going through a little turmoil. I know it's been a few weeks since Brown been fired, and they should have things under wrap. But I think the Knicks going to come out victorious in that game, so I'm not worried. I'm being real. I'm hoping it's a 5-5 by next 5 games, including the Timberwolves from tomorrow night. But I wouldn't be mad, you know what I'm saying, if we lost that game to the Grizzlies because Ja Morant. Did y'all see that dunk he caught Wemby with? You know what I'm saying? I know he's going to catch a nick. I know he's going to catch something. All right, let's talk about the minutes. You know what I'm saying? I'm way behind. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to try to just look at the graphic. Mikal Bridges first, Josh Hart second, Anunoby third, Jalen Brunson fourth, Karl Anthony Towns is 10th in minutes played. This is why I'm talking about the playoffs and where we going to be at. You know what I'm saying? I know that injury that Towns suffered was not of minutes of fatigue. It was a freak accident. Him going for a dunk and his thumb getting caught on the back of the backboard. But I'm still concerned about the minutes. Look at the minutes. Mikal Bridges already played 1,500 minutes. Josh Hart, 1,500 minutes. Anunoby, 1,400 minutes. Jalen Brunson, 1,300 minutes. You might as well say 1,400 because that's 1,397. It's going to catch up, y'all. I'm telling you, it's going to catch up, and that's my biggest concern. He got to get the young guys involved, just like you see all around the leagues. Y'all keep talking about the bench getting on the floor and they got their minutes and they didn't do nothing. I don't know what game y'all watching because when they on the floor, it's always either Brunson or Carl Anthony Towns. If it ain't Carl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, they're not getting no shots up. You looking at these guys getting up desperation shots. All right, enough of that, y'all. Y'all done heard it from me for too long. Let's move to Mitchell Robinson so we can get up out of here while we still on that countdown. Mitchell Robinson, the big dog. Everybody waiting for him to come back. Start of the season, we all knew Mitchell wasn't going to be available. People were talking about he's going to be back December, early January. I was watching my video. I said Mitchell Robinson might don't be back till February, and I even said he might not even return to March. And I'm still sticking to that. Late February, early March. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all Knicks fans don't want to hear that, but we have to be realistic with Mitchell Robinson and his injury history. He's injury prone. And I'm not saying that he was the problem. We seen what happened in the playoffs, but this is his second surgery on that ankle. And come on, let's be real. It's question marks, you know what I'm saying? Big Mitch. You know what I'm saying? There's question marks about him and what the Knicks going to do. Are we going to? When is he going to return? Are we going to trade him? What we going to get back? A lot of people talk about Valanciunas, but that makes sense half and half. And let me explain when I say half and half, because as good as he will be on offense, because a lot of people don't think so, but he will be an extra spark off the bench. He can score. He know how to use that big frame. But when it comes to defense, let's face it, the man can't even jump off the floor. We get against a team like Spurs, Wemby will have a field day with him. With Mitchell Robinson, he gives us a fighting chance. He's very active around the rim, block shots. Last year, he was leading the teams in steal. I mean, Mitchell Robinson, when on the court, is a force to be reckoned with. And that's the biggest dilemma the New York Knicks have. Should we trade him or should we keep him? But then you have to think about what will we get back for him, because other teams have to be concerned with his injuries as well. So this is the thing with me and Mitchell Robinson. It's a love-hate relationship. I'm going to be real with y'all. It's a love-hate relationship. Regular season, he averages 5 points, 8.5 rebounds, 1.2 steals, and 1.1 blocks, 0.06 assists. In 24 minutes, he shot 57% from the field and 40% from the free throw line. In the playoffs, he seemed to drop off, but that's only because his minutes drop off. He only averaged last year he played 19 minutes, 1.2 blocks, which was better than the regular season. 6.8 rebounds. It fell off 2 rebounds from the regular season. And 2 points. He shot 50% from the field. From the free throw line, 37%, and 0.5 assists. Some people can say offensively, not going to say some people, but anyone could say that Mitchell Robinson is a liability. And let's back up. Because you can't really say that, because the Knicks don't really focus on a big man if his name ain't Karl Anthony Towns or Julius Randle. They don't get the shots I think they should be getting. Like right here, you see this play right here. I think Mitchell Robinson should be getting more shots like that, going to the hoops, alley oops. He be open all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he cut to the rim, 95% of the time, Mitchell Robinson is open, cutting to the basket. And sometimes he be having a mouse in the house, a little guy on him. Whatever the Knicks do with Mitchell Robinson, Knicks fans are waiting. We are waiting. We want to know. We want to know if he's going to be part of our future. And just like the organization, we are worried. As Knicks fans, we have to admit we are worried. If the Knicks don't, because let's say you have a lot of Knicks fans out there that might want Mitchell Robinson trade because of his injury, but then you have a lot of um, Knicks fans out there that don't want Mitchell Robinson to get traded because of his defense, and that's the dilemma the Knicks have. You know what I'm saying? What are they gonna do with Big Mitch? You know what I'm saying? What we gonna do with Big Mitch? Well, like I said, it's a love-hate relationship. He do make the team better when he's on the court defensively. And if the coach would design some plays for him, it could really shake things up for the Knicks because then they can't just let him rest in the paint and don't pay him no mind. They're gonna have to put a man and be accountable for Mitchell Robinson or any center on this team. Like I said, adjustments. Tibbs, that's my only problem with Tibbs, adjustments and team management. Well, once again, I want y'all to tell me what y'all think. Hit me in the comments. I reply to every comment. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 4,000 so I can hit y'all with a big congratulations and thank you because I do appreciate every last one of you who take the time to watch me. I know I can ramble sometimes, so once again, I appreciate your viewership. And with that being said, I want everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, God bless, and peace.